Could you just tell me exactly what that system is for?
It's, they take the emissions out of the building from, the engines are all now diesel. And if any of you are familiar with a diesel engine, when they are not run on a daily basis, because we are a volunteer organization and we don't have calls every day, the buildup of the emissions inside. So when you start that up, you get like a 5 or 10 minute severe exhaust smell. And we get dressed next to these apparatus. So, you know, looking out for the safety of the members.
Mm-hmm. The firehouse generator, Chief, how old is it, the one you have now?
Approximately 20-some-odd years old, and that was a minor one that you just had a gas-powered one. So we're looking into getting, I guess, a freestanding one outside. And I'm not too versed in them, to be honest with you. So, and the prices came into that. Right? Something that I guess like the police department would have outside, you know, that type of generator. And I can provide more specific information on that when the time is required.
Great. Anybody have other questions? Thank you very much, Chief.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We do the police now?
It's fine. Hi, Chief.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good, yourself?
Just fine, thank you.
My 2007 capital request is the same as 2006. I'd like to address a officer safety issue with the construction of a Sallyport prisoner garage. Basically, I envision a concrete structure somewhere attached to our police headquarters near our processing room. I'm using a guess, an estimate of the total cost. At the very least, we'd receive proposals to determine that feasibility, given some of the environmental constraints of our facility. Obviously, tonight the volunteers are here with some also life safety equipment, fire trucks. It's probably not going to be possible to fund every request that's before you this year, but certainly I think we need to get back to planning and starting some, sinking funds that for the committee to make a decision where we are now, where we want to be, and how do we get there. And work towards that. And certainly I'm willing to work along with the the committee on setting up that 5-year plan, keeping the requests in mind.
Great. Could you, I remember you explaining this to me last year, but could you, for the purposes of the audience, explain what exactly a Sallyport is? Basically,
it's a garage where we can drive our police cars into, close the door in a secure manner, and escort our prisoners out of the patrol car and into our processing room. For the last 85 years, if we have a combative prisoner, we are struggling with those prisoners out in a parking lot and primarily a residential area. And this just makes it more safe for the officers as well as the public and as well as for the prisoner. And again, I don't know if it's going to cost $150,000, but that's where if we could put some funding towards some planning to see what we're looking at. Uh, 2009, envisioning weapon replacement. Our weapons were replaced, I believe it was in 1998. They have about a 10 to 12 year lifespan.
And we're talking all the weapons?
Yes. Although we haven't had an officer-involved shooting in the last 24 years, we do put a tremendous amount of rounds.
Sure, you still shoot them.
We still shoot
You
them
gotta
for
practice, right?
mandated qualifications. 2007 would be the mobile computer replacement. Again, this is for planning purposes. That request might be somewhat fluid based on the technology. If we're forced to upgrade our mobile environment software, then there would be a potential to upgrade the mobile computers. The last time, I believe that we stretched the mobile computers out about 10 years, and as you know, I think even the state puts a classification on the computers of only usually having a useful life of about 3 years.
How many mobile computers do we have?
We have 10. (2011) unmarked vehicle replacement. Again, this is somewhat fluid based on the the mileages, and as my understanding, Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, the unmarked vehicles can be purchased under capital because they have a lifespan of over 5 years.
Yeah, I couldn't speak positively to that.
Okay.
Jack?
I bel-
I didn't think any police vehicles could be, but,
The SUVs,
oh, the
SUVs,
SUVs,
yeah.
trucks can.
Right.
But I meant, you know.
this would actually be an SUV. They're
Oh,
about the same cost.
yeah, I think
They
SUVs
work better
you
in
can
snow.
manage,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, and same thing in 2012. Again, this is my projection based on mileages. If the mileages aren't as high, then I won't be, before you asking for the replacement.
How many it's two? No, I'm sorry.
That's
How many-
two.
how many
That would be
four-
two, correct.
Two of them, right?
So again, I look at this as a plan, and it can be somewhat, fluid.
Any other questions? Okay, Chief, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, you said, I'm sorry, because I just thought of it. The 150, that's just an estimate, it's not based on any actual estimates provided to you?
That is correct.
Okay, okay. Would it be difficult to hire someone to give you an actual estimate to get a more concrete figure?
I don't think so. I think, Kevin, we had a price of between $5,000 and $7,000 just to kind of get the project off the ground and see where we were.
to establish a conceptual drawing and
Right.
establish a price, kind of like a normal architectural project.
Okay, so we would have to spend $5,000 to $7,000 before we even get an estimate?
Well, I think Justin could provide an estimate as far as building, but in order to do the specifications and the conception design, an architect's gonna sit down and spend the time with the police department as well as the town. And we did receive a price from a consultant of that range, about $7,000 to sit down to basically do the architectural work prior to going out to bid or anything like that.
And that doesn't lock us in any time frame either, of course. I mean,
No,
it just
no.
allows us to know what's going
But
on.
let's, then before we spend $5,000 to $7,000 on some conceptual drawings, let's, figure out where this fits into the plan and then
Well,
make that adjustment.
Any conceptual drawing would be tied into the capital, so we're taking no action until that capital's approved anyway.
Right?
Okay, great. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.